Hi everyone, this is a technical analysis on gold. Let's start with a fundamental overview first. Gold remains mostly range bound but with a bullish tilt, given that in the bigger picture real yields will likely continue to fall amid Fed easing, and just a repricing rate cuts expectations could weigh on it in the short term. That repricing hasn't taken place as the data continues to favor at least two rate cuts for the Fed this year. In fact, yesterday we got a lower than expected US CPI report, which saw the market erasing some of the slightly more hawkish bets after the US NFP. Late in the afternoon, we've also got some Middle East tensions that boosted the precious metal on safe haven flows, but it seems like the news of a potential Israel attack against Iran was exaggerated. Nevertheless, it's worth to keep an eye on that front. Today we have the US PPI and the US jobless claims data that could impact the price of gold. Dovish figures should keep on supporting the market into new highs, while hawkish data might weigh on it in the short term. Now on the daily chart, we can see that gold pulled back to retest this broken downward trend line, bounced on it as the buyers continue to target the 3,438 level. The sellers might want to wait for the price to come into this level to position for a drop into this major upward trend line with a better risk reward setup. On the 4-hour chart, we can see that we have this minor upward trend line defining the current bullish momentum. If we get a pullback into the trend line, we can expect the buyers to lean on it with a defined risk below the trend line to position for the rally into the 3,438 level. The sellers, on the other hand, will look for a break lower to pile in for a drop into the 3,245 level next. On the 1-hour chart, we can see more clearly the recent price action, but there's not much else we can add here, as the buyers will have a better risk reward setup around this trend line, while the sellers will look for a break lower to target a bigger pullback to the downside. These red lines define the average daily range for today. For the upcoming catalysts, today we get the latest US jobless claims figures and the US PPI report. Tomorrow we conclude the week with the University of Michigan consumer sentiment data.